Hello everyone and welcome back to another stream. This time we'll be continuing Goemon's Great Adventure, also known as Mystic Ninja 2, starring Goemon here in Europe. Or I think it was for all of Europe. So, as you've... if you're following me on Twitter, then you probably did notice that I delayed this stream a little bit, and that was because I said I'd grind for costumes, since you can get different costumes when you beat the game on another file, and you can take these costumes and play with them on other files. And another thing that apparently is possible now is playing with more than 2 people, because initially this game has a 2-player mode, and according to stuff I found, you then can also play with a 3rd and a 4th player. I won't be able to do that. I definitely won't be able to do that, obviously, but I can show you a few of the options that I have, because I didn't get all of them. There are also some, like the bunny outfit or the swimsuit that I don't really need. I mean, they are more like gag outfits, so I mean there are other gag outfits that that I think that I have right now, but yeah, Goemon, you probably did see in the last stream the Impact outfit, but now he also has turban and school. While Ibismaru has now raccoon. Shirtless with thighs. And sumo. I don't know if I did show this last time, but I'll probably keep him as raccoon. And Sasuke, for some reason, has the maid outfit, so I unfortunately didn't get any other outfit for him, because the other outfit is some like more a tribal looking, I think kind of like a tiger outfit or more jungle outfit, and it's fine, but I don't like it as much. But on the other hand, I think this is hilarious, so I did get this, and this was pretty cheap. And Yae gets pretty much also school outfit, because again, I wouldn't really use bunny girl outfit or the swimsuit outfit anyway, so I'll keep it at that. So I don't know if I'm going to take turban or school. I mean, turban is more appropriate for the next world. I may change this when we get to the next world. I did change the graphics plugin again, so I hope there isn't there isn't a hell room like last time. I'd really appreciate it if we could avoid that, but yeah, let's start. And right off the bat with the start of World 3, we get to, I'd say, one of my most hated levels, not because it's necessarily bad, but it's because it's a little bit weird with how the difficulty works, because the end part is really hard, mainly because of these things. The Kokeshi Road heads that are pretty much an insta-kill. Also the demon water that you see right in the gaps that you can fall into, that is also an insta-kill. So we can hit this one and this one again so that we can reach the other side. And then jump onto this and get up there. This is again one of my preferred ways to go through this stage. I like to take the upper path. But you have to be careful because there are some of these bomb guys in the hut below that can hit you. Something a little bit unfortunate here is that it feels like the screen should pan out a little bit more. Okay, I pressed the button. So yeah, these three heads, they look pretty inconspicuous, but they are really annoying if you don't know the timing. And then you can get crushed, or you fall into the gaps and get an insta-kill from the demon water, so you're screwed anyway. And I still get caught in between these things. But it's not so bad with the timing now than it was when I first played this song. Yeah, but you can already see that with that stuff before, these levels get more challenging, and that right up there is an alternate path that we as Goemon cannot take. And then we also have this this path that is different depending on okay, yes, throw in the ghost before it's even properly night. And I have to say, this night team is probably one of the it sounds more I mean, to me it's a little bit silly that this sounds the least scary, while this is pretty much the ghost world. It again. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of input lag that I have to get adjusted to again. Yeah, I have to say, while Kokeshi Road isn't really one of my favorite levels, this level actually is. I mean, my opinion of this level is kind of warped anyway, because there is a mission on this island that pretty much forces you to know this level in and out. And also another level that appears a lot later. Because right here you could see one of the things that are a little bit unfortunate about this game, since sometimes if you move, the screen doesn't wrap around fast enough, so you have a limited field of view. But with these guys you have to be careful. Okay, another fun thing, if you are on these poles, then enemies cannot defeat you. A lot of these levels have more like music that seems more like I don't know, dance music. It has a pretty nice beat. Generally from now on, pretty much all of the levels have really great music. This one especially, like I said, this is pretty much one of my favorite levels in the entire game. Since you have pretty much 2 exits, and for the other exit you also have one extra path. Yeah, so here we did need Goemon. Let's go here. Oh yeah, this level has... I just like that sound. This... I don't even know what instrument this is supposed to be, or what kind of sound. Fun fact for this level, you can use Yai or Sasuke, preferred Yai, to kind of skip the entire level. You can just go underwater and speed through it, and then it's done. I also like the aesthetic, although it's a little bit monotone in the aesthetic department, because it's for the most part just the lake and these hills. I still like it. Then we have these guys, which you pretty much just have to juggle around. Yeah, this is, I think, kind of my favorite world, if I think about it. Because the disadvantage that the final world has is that it's so tiny. That there are only 3 real levels, and then the castle, and the castle itself is more like a best of the other castles. But not really. It's not really a best of, because how many do we have? 16. I think we only need 18 of these. I'm definitely going here and buying some more extra lives that are totally unnecessary. Since I don't really know how to spend my money if not like this. Okay, so there are a few missions here. So I think this is... We have another extra life. Yes. Okay, we can we can do this one. This one is pretty easy. Again, if someone comes across these videos and asks themselves, okay, how do you do some of these other missions? Maybe I'll do them, but they are pretty lengthy. I'm probably going to talk about what kind of missions you can get here. For one, there is a firework mission with Sasuke, which is pretty much just remember the order in which the firework is being activated and then replicated. Okay, this is the wrong one. Okay, this quest is pretty much find the right iguana mans. And I cannot remember the right order. Was it this one right here? Okay, no. Yeah, but you have the firework one. What's this one? Then you have... Okay. This isn't it. Is it the one? I did go into this one, didn't I? Nope. Okay, was this the one up on the hill then? I get the order wrong. Yeah, so the Sasuke one with the fireworks, then you get an old lady that wants for you to collect mushrooms, and she gives you money depending on how many mushrooms you collect, but you want to collect all of them. Okay, yeah, this is right. And that level can be kind of tricky because you have a timer, and one level that we didn't get to yet. Okay, wrong once again. See, this is a mission that I just cannot remember. But going back to that mushroom mission, these mushrooms are pretty much in the entire level, so you pretty much have to go back. You have to go back through the entire level to get some of them, because on Maneater Road you pretty much have to take both paths. And there is a kind of a boss fight. Yeah, so and when we get to the other route and I show you the other exit, then you might see what I mean by that mission can be quite annoying. And then we have this guy. This guy pretty much gives you the task to visit his, I think, brothers in Lake Pochan and give them hats, and you can figure out which statues to give hats to, because the dialogue is different depending on if they are real or not, because there are some other statues that are fakes, and if you give one of these fake statues a hat, then the mission is pretty much over. And the first statue is definitely the right one, so you just have to remember that dialogue and then everything is pretty much fine. Okay, so yeah, we do have a cutscene. Oh my god. They are in outfits. I mean, either we need 18 or 20 entry passes for this world. I mean, now that I think about it, with the number of levels, the first world has 3, the second world has also just 3. Then this world has 4. Yeah, this has 4, and then world 4 has, yeah, also 3. So why did I think why did I think that that world 5 was so short when a lot of the other worlds also only have 3 levels? Maybe it's because these levels have more second exits. And again, for the first and kind of for the second world, it's not really that surprising that there are fewer levels. Yeah, I'll probably do the next level and then so you can only reach this level by getting the the other exit from Maneater Road. Which is kind of a... Or do you get there by going out from a different... Okay, I have to try this out because I don't remember. If you just have to get out of the... one of the other exits. Nope, not this one, but there is one... on the top of the village, because in the first city, the first world, you have to take that one exit to get to Digger Goat Mine. Oh. So I always thought that you had to go through the exit, that there are maybe some other levels where if you leave using the other exit, then it's fine. But yes, so you pretty much have to take that extra path here to even get to the checkpoint. Which is interesting, because in the second world you didn't need to do that. Again, with the music starting with a pretty beat and not feeling... I mean, I really like this music, but it really doesn't feel like you're... somewhere serious like this, and... Okay, this is pretty mean. But I mean, look at this level. Saw blades on pendulums, creepy monster hands, bats, demons, tombstones all over the place. And this was being too hasty. Now do I go? Yeah, let's do it. So if you go up here, wrong depth perception. Okay, so if you go up here, you reach this part. And here you have... Wait for it. These things. Which are pretty much insta-kills. Except for the blue one. So you have to go up this way one at a time. Wait for the other two. And you can already see that even if you start by going immediately when you can after the black one, you don't really reach it, so there's no reason to really try. And go there. So now, what do you think the big problem is? What the... course I get the cat right then and there. But this can take a while. It's not really that hard, but it just takes so long. And on the mushroom mission, this is pretty much just go this entire way up. Wait the entire time. You have a mission timer. That mission timer goes down also the entire time. But then you have to go all the way down and also if you did notice, now it's daytime again, and we pretty much started this at the beginning of nighttime, so yeah, this takes quite a while, and you only do this the entire time, and that is the reason why I'm not really that big of a fan of this mission. At least not with the mushroom one. Because if it's just doing this for the first time, or that one time, then it's fine. It's still way too long. I mean, just look at this. We're still not done. And I don't understand why they felt the need to make it this long. But then again, this is an alternate path that you don't even necessarily need to take, so... Because this pretty much just loops back to the city. So yeah, you technically don't even need to do this, but now that I'm not really 100%ing this and not really showing the extra missions, I thought that I at least show the normal exits, and I kind of have to. I have to show this because I couldn't believe it when I did this the first time, and I also didn't really know what the timing was, or didn't really know what the optimal timing was, so how did it work? Okay, now you can definitely see that I'm getting a little bit restless because I had to wait for so long. I mean, it could be worse. Yes. And it's that one optional exit. Again, too fast. But I have to say they are still pretty generous with the health drops, and with some of the power-up placements. There are some times where you really don't need it, and other times where it's appreciated. And I just realized that I have But I have so much money already again. I'm just now thinking about if I have to, or if I should show you the other way in Maneater Road, since there is technically a mini boss. Yeah, I'm probably gonna show you. But I really have to say this is so weird if you kind of have to grind for money any other time, and then because that's kind of the thing, you don't really have to grind in this game normally, except for some very specific missions. Okay, so yeah, it's I think 18 entry passes. And I really have to say they are pretty lenient with how many entry passes you need to complete this game. Okay, no, we're definitely not going in there because you get huge amount of money just from doing that level, so more extra lives that I probably don't need until the final castle, because a fair warning in advance, the final castle can be pretty demanding. I mean, again, the other thing is I know this game really well now, so of course I don't really have a lot of problems with it. No, I wanted to I wanted to save. I just now checked the lag frames and seems to have been a spike. So yeah, today it's apparently not going that well compared to yesterday, and now I don't really, okay, now I wanted to go to Maneater Road, and now I don't really know why this is happening again, because I didn't do anything different than yesterday, and yesterday I got pretty much 0.5%. I got 0.5% lag frames, and now I have 3. I mean, the other reason why you maybe should go down here is there is an extra life for defeating that mini boss. And I mean, normally I can understand why taking the lower path, like in this case, maybe more difficult, and that they put a mid boss there, but then again, you can easily avoid this lower path. It's in my opinion even easier to you just take the other path, so... Yeah, the only thing you really have to do is stand at the edge here and the fire won't hit you. And then you just have to pay attention and not get hit by the little kappas. And this guy can take quite a few hits even with gold weapon. Okay, now... Yes, here it is. But the thing is, the upper path isn't even that much easier because that spiral staircase, when it's evening, can be pretty tricky. If I think about it, probably the upper path at night is probably tricky because you have the ghosts running up behind and before you. While the lower path... Oh. So yeah, if you beat a level and then beat it again, depending on where the Tanuki stands still, you can get more or less coins. Oh. I definitely forgot this. So this is pretty much the upgraded version of these here, because this is pretty much it revives you with full health, and why not? Going through castles gives you a gigantic amount of money, especially if the castle counts as night, or that it's supposed to be night in that castle, because World 1 and 2 are daylight castles, so you only get 1 coin for defeating stuff, but with this, on the other hand, you get multiple. You get 2, like normally at night. And I don't remember if it's the same for World 4. I think that counts as daylight castle. I think really World 3 is the only one. But then again, this is pretty much my favorite castle of them all. It has 3 different music tracks and a lot of different environments, and it's really long. And the thing with this castle is it starts off pretty easy, but then it can get pretty challenging, especially the last part is, I think, the first one where it's really easy to accidentally jump off a cliff or get hit, and then losing a life because of that. Yeah, so here we have the crab scissor hands. That you can simply wait for and then jump on them. They don't damage you. They only try to drown you in sand. I don't know, are these supposed to be antlions? Do antlions do this? Or am I just thinking about a specific game? Oh, extra life. I mean, one thing that you could do is jump into that tank and destroy all of these enemies, but even though I don't need the money, I still want it. It's just... There is, I think... Nope, there is no gold cat back here. The kind of annoying thing with the money is that the quest that gives you a lot of money only or the quest that you need a lot of money for only appears pretty much after one of the castles that gives you the most money that you... So if you have a lot of money before that, like myself... Okay, now we are in pretty much part 2 of this dungeon. And this here is a part where they expect you to switch to Ebismaru. But you also can do just this. And now in part 2 you see a lot more traps like this one. And I think we now get... yes. Oh, not... Okay, I misremembered. This is... I'm waiting for one room in particular. And again, having a double jump here helps a lot. Hello. Oh my god. Okay, this was stupid. That was not my fault that I died there. I got stuck. If this was GDQ, then I now could say this never happened before to me. Yeah, because the thing is, normally this box just, for me, just gets thrown down. Okay, this is the room that I talked about last time, where you are expected to take Sasuke and destroy these with his bomb attack that you have to charge up, so that is extra time that you have to waste, because there will be a giant death ring of spikes that slowly ascends upwards to try and kill you. So you could stand there with Sasuke and wait for some specific jump and do all of this, or you could just double jump and do it like this. And I don't know if that was intentional. I think that for the most part they more likely thought that they didn't want to make it too high, so that if you hit these blocks or that you only have to hit these blocks with Sasuke once and not twice. Drink a little bit. I have a really dry throat right now. But even then, even if you don't know that you have to use Sasuke, because when I first played this, I didn't really know that you had to use Sasuke. I didn't know how to destroy these blocks. So I just winged it, and here it is. The Death Ring of Spikes. Because there are still parts like this where you have to wait, and if you do it with Sasuke like intended, because I tried that once, these spikes can get close to you pretty fast, so if you're doing it optimally, you still won't see them, but yeah, that was the entire room. Again, with Goemon, that's pretty fast. And now we got to part 3 of the castle. So now we also get the third music. This is pretty much wait some more and don't fall into the instant death water. At least I think that this is instant death water like Kukeshi Road. I can't really remember because it's been an eternity since I last fell in this. Another reason why the double jump in this castle is really useful is that the hands cannot really grab you when you try to escape from them with the second jump. Yeah, so now we are pretty much at the final room. Okay, I thought there was a platform, but I remembered wrong. Yeah, so this is again something that they expected you to use Ibismaru for, but with this megaphone attack. But now I'm really thinking about what if someone didn't get that attack and then got here. One up, okay. Some of these guys are really hard to see. And wasn't there a gold cat around here somewhere, or? Oh no, this boss fight can... This can now take a while. Yeah, one of the things is if you get into some of these boss fights with your best weapon setup, then they are pretty much a joke. Sometimes it matters what weapon you have, because I don't really think it matters with the boss from World 2, but with the boss from World 3 it definitely matters. What hit me? Yeah, so with that... With the pillar attack, I don't really know what you have to do, so... Yeah, this isn't really... Yeah, so you pretty much just have to hit him 3 times and then wail on his soul. Yeah, this could have gone a lot better, especially if I had that level 3 weapon, but... Yeah, I'm not really that good at keeping that power up through some of the later castles. But then again, I think Castle 4 is probably hard. No, but Castle 4 is probably easier than this one. It's so weird to see these cutscenes, since I always skip these. I mean, it's a little bit weird, and I know that. Yeah, so one interesting tidbit that a lot of you probably don't know, my raid introduction theme that appears when for the hypothetical situation that I'm someday going to get raided is the boss introduction theme of this game. So it's pretty much the first few, the first 10 seconds or so of the boss music that always appear when they show you the boss name and such. And the other alerts are mostly from Baten Kaitos, again, I don't know. Feel free to correct me if you want to. So yeah, now we get World 3, the World 3 impact fight that I, for some reason, always remember the least. I mean, I still remember it, but what this boss does, I just cannot remember, mainly because I think I beat him so fast, and he doesn't really have a special attack as far as I remember, or at least not. The special attack is not as annoying as with other bosses. And so one interesting aspect of these fights is that they first of all, if you press pause, they show you what kind of abilities you have. So you have the punch combo that's called repeated punch. Then the kick combo that I did just now. The kick that, again, I don't know if it does anything, and guard, which I didn't really use. It's mostly not necessary because for the first bosses you defeat them so fast, and if you initiate the punch combo, then for most bosses you don't really need to guard them because you can trap them in your hit animation anyway and you don't get hit. Oh, god damn it. Yeah, I missed the input there. Again, it was a little bit too fast. Yeah, but the thing is, this guy runs so often just into your attacks or just in front of you, so $700. This should defeat him? Nope. The laser does around, I think, 500 damage. Yeah, so this was an example of the super attack that I didn't really know how to dodge. And now you can see. And the reason I didn't know how to deal with it was because I can remember that I ever saw it before. And the thing you normally do, or the thing you'd normally be able to do, is that you switch to your partner Yeah, so also interesting thing, while you load up that laser, you don't lose health. Why did it hit me? Yeah, I should. The stupid thing with switching is because right now you could see that I was trying to switch to the other impact, and I did hit it, but it didn't initiate the animation, which is a little bit annoying. And the other thing is that I technically could beat this faster if I wanted to, but right now I'm more trying to be stylish with the finish, and maybe I shouldn't be, because again, this guy isn't that hard. And if I did get that switch, off right, then this definitely wouldn't have been a problem. Switching is a lot more manageable if you... Because that's a kind of annoying. Right now I want to switch and the boss just stands in my way. Okay, so now this should be pretty trivial. Yeah, I think he should be dead. Or not. No. I'm out of bullets. now he's done. But yeah, you can pretty much see that if you can switch, this is a pretty easy fight. like the other two. I mean, it's still a little bit more challenging than the ones before, since he has a bit more health and stuff. But then again, he draws close to you for so many attacks, and that first, I'm going to own that first death because I just didn't know how to react to that attack. Since I cannot really remember seeing that, or if I did see it, that was probably, I don't know, at least 10 years ago. Which is kind of weird because there are other things from games that are older that I can remember a lot better than this guy, because I remember the World 4 and World 5 Impact Boss so much better than the World 3 Impact Boss. Because by itself it just feels like such a throwaway boss. Since you have this demon theme with everything, and then you just get the god of thunder, which is, yeah, it doesn't really fit. That's the biggest problem. It doesn't really fit, and I'm a little bit disappointed in that. But then again, it's still an okay boss. I mean, it did get me. It did get me more than the other two. But then again, it's just like if these bosses can activate their specials and you cannot switch to your partner because your partner stupidly enough just stands right in the middle of the arena where the boss tries to do its attack. Since normally they move somewhere else where they don't easily hit your partner, because the stupid thing is if your partner gets hit, then they stay down for the entirety of the super attack. And again, I didn't really know how to deal with it. I probably just had to do the punch combo. But yeah, enough of that. Now we're up to World 4, Underworld, which is again a really nice world. Personally, I'm not that fond of a few aspects of this world, since this world can be pretty annoying at parts. And because I have one specific memory with it that I have kind of a grudge against this world, because yeah, no, I'm probably going to talk about that when we get to the next level, because it's mainly about that next level. But this is pretty much a nice, easy level, which is a little bit weird because if I compare it to that input lag. But really, if I compare it to the first level of the last world, then this is, yeah, I'd say a good amount easier. I'm playing terribly right now. And we're already done. I'd say that the other world did take a bit longer. Okay, now to Mokike Forest. And this level has another exit that you can also see on the map. You don't really know for sure at first, since there is another level that also has a second exit, but that exit you can reach, since one of them is for the checkpoint and the other exit is for the town. The problem with this exit is that they pretty much, I think, in the town already tell you what you have to do there. But the stupid thing, and I don't know why they do it like this, is that it doesn't work until you beat the game. And I don't know why, since the weird part is that if you beat the game, so this is the place, probably after I beat the game I'm coming back here and showing you. But the thing is that if you beat the game, in the credits they show you this place. So it's not really so it's not really a surprise And that's a little bit sad for me, because I would really love to get back there and then discover what that was with my own hands, or better said on my own, but they pretty much show you. Oh yeah, the nighttime theme in Underworld, I'd say, is one of the best night themes in this game, since I have to say, compared to the Margin Island night theme, this one perfectly captures the essence of this world, I think, because this really feels like a quiet, calm forest music. And I'm totally fine with that. It's not really... It's not really meant to be spooky or anything, it's just meant to be calm. And again, this isn't really that hard of a level. I'd say there are more, if I compare it with the second level of the last world, Medieval Road, that had a lot of options. This is more limited, but still fine. I mean, the thing that's nice about this world is that these are levels that still have their pits and stuff like that, and especially Wonder Valley is a little bit longer, but they still aren't that hard, and they don't have that many instant kill things like Kokeshi Road. So it's more that the missions that you have to solve in these levels are the main part. Speaking of which, Kaiware Road, the first level... Getting hit again. So Kaiware Road, the first level of this world, has a mission where if you go to the village that you reach by getting the secret exit in Mokeke Forest, you can... I lost my train of thought for a moment there. But yeah, if you get through that level, then you can pretty much... If you get to that village, then you can buy something to... I think it's a plate that you can sell to a ghost in that level. You have to go to a well there. And after that you get an entry pass. Which is pretty much a post-game entry pass. But then again, I don't really understand why they block that village from you until you do post-game, because they could have at least given you, I don't know, the ability to get there but not to buy this. They could have said, you have to be stronger or something like that. Or they or that it just wouldn't be available until then. And that the fortune teller just doesn't tell you that you can do a mission there. Yeah, but a little bit more about Wonder Valley. The big thing about this level is that there are multiple paths that connect between the upper and lower path. And this was pretty much the upper path that I think leads to the city. No, it leads to the checkpoint. Okay, so there is also a lower path that you can go to, and there are several pathways that kind of connect them with each other, Having a lot of problems speaking right now for some reason. So you pretty much just have to go through there in any way you like. You could start the upper path and then go down, or go to the lower path and then go up. Here they expect you to use Ibis Maru again, but you actually can just do this. Refusing to play other characters or just loving one character so much that you just want to play with him the entire time kind of leads to something like this. Where you just discover, okay, you can do that. Again, I think this was meant for Ibis Maru. And looking at my money count, it's ridiculously high again, but for funsies I can just dump it into, or I can dump a little bit into the extra mission where you have to gain a lot of money. So now don't forget to take the lower path, because if you take the upper path here, you, as far as I remember, you get to the other exit again. I think you get to one of the bridges that you reach later. I mean, one of the things that I like the most about this game is just that there are a lot of exits to these levels, or that there are multiple exits to these levels, and that you can kind of do them in a different way if you want to. But yeah, first of all, I'm going to check how many entry passes we need. I don't know if it was 22 or 24, because I think for the final world you need 30. Okay, 24. There are 44 entry passes total in the game. Was it 32? I don't know if they increased the count that much. Yeah, so one thing about this world is that there is no extra cutscene when you enter the tea house. And I have to say, this is probably one of my favorite towns just because of the idea of it. Since it's pretty much at the root of a gigantic tree, and then there's this other weird architecture all around it. So this is the house. Oh, 3,500. Okay. I had 2,500 for some reason in mind, and I thought, that's not as bad as I remember. Okay, that's why. With 1,000 more. I mean, I don't really need it for anything else, so why not? Yeah, but this can take quite a while. I'm always grinding in the first level in Edo. Yeah, so okay, regarding the quests you can do here, so the first quest is here. That is a girl that asks you to vanquish some tengus, which are crow spirits, or at least in this game. Then we have the mission that I'm probably going to do, which is catch. I'm trying to remember what other missions are in this world, because a lot of them you cannot do until post-game, because there are some in the secret village. And in the secret village you get one from standing under a waterfall. You get one from the mission I mentioned with the ghost in the well at Kaiwa Road, and then you get one from vanquishing the tengus. And for some reason you get an extra entry pass if you reach the secret village, just because of that. You only have to free the tengus. Okay, this mission can be a pain, depending on if you miss one of these. They don't really try to run away from you, but you have to be pretty thorough. And there are a few hiding spots like this. that they like to use. Some of them are in houses. This is one they like to use. Yup. Here. As far as I remember, they are at different hideouts every time. Although I don't think that they cycle through a lot of them, because I can remember that there are some variations. Or at least that's how I remember it. It could just be that they are always at the same spots, but I did this mission a lot, so now I don't really feel so now it doesn't really matter to me. I think they can be in here. Yeah, because something like one of them hiding up there isn't really that easy to see. So I'd not be surprised. Or I'm not surprised why some people, like myself, didn't really notice that. Or just because they... Or better said, I wasn't thorough enough. Here. Because these locations feel so familiar to me, but that could also just be because I am so used to this. So yeah, for some reason we have another town. Is this the... Yeah, this is pretty much the armor town. That gives you pretty much 1-ups, and I mean, again, I'm not really in need of money, and I'm going into a castle anyway. And again, if I look at these backgrounds and something like that, then this looks pretty much fine. Also, this is an exit that if you don't really if you don't really know how to move through the city, or that this is an exit, this can be pretty annoying because you have to pretty much move through the entire town again. Yeah, so this is, I think, all things considered, pretty, I think, my second favorite castle. I don't know if I did say this about Ryukyu Castle already. Okay, I didn't really think that this was a bottomless pit, because down here is water, and this guy who can be incredibly annoying. Oh. Dying at some of the easiest places in the entire game because of, oh my god, these witches. I have to say, these witches come into your field of view really fast. You don't really have a lot of time to react to them. And the stupid thing is they are black, just like the monster in the back. So you don't really see them. I mean, the first witch that was on me, I should have noticed that one. Although I don't know why I don't really see them that well. Yeah, so the thing with Underworld Castle is that instead of being this forest location, it's pretty much almost medieval castle with some grass elements, but there are some rooms that you, because I'm going the left path here, since there's also a right one. And this is really one of the unfortunate parts, since... And now we're in section 2. I really like this variant of the music. Yeah, this doesn't really seem like the grass place we were previously at, since now it's pretty much abstract art museum with a lot of hands. And again, having optional paths here, but also that these paths then are that you cannot replay this. Is really unfortunate. It would have been so awesome to just replay these castles. As far as I remember, somewhere around here should be a gold cat. On this left path. Either it's on both paths or I just remember it wrong. Okay, just... Okay, yeah, there it is. Again, amazed at myself at that I did remember something like that. And the thing is, if you play well, then a lot of stuff gets a lot easier. And here we have some other mounts that you also cannot get in any other level, so you can't really replay that, because those little tanks that were in Margin Castle you could get in Tomb Pass. Always looks like you're going to get hit by that flame. Okay, bad timing. And I almost wanted to say where do these barrels appear, but... Yeah, because the thing is, I think just dealing with these guys on your own is a lot more effective than dealing with them otherwise. Yeah, so the funny thing about this room is, if you, or at least as far as I remember, if you go there in another way, then you won't really and again, listening a bit to the music, because this is the music for the final part that has a little bit more to it than the Edo one, which was pretty much a 10-second loop. But yeah, just again talking a little bit about the level itself. It's... you could go, or you could reach this. I always think of it as a throne room by walking the different path, the right path, and I think the room right before that is then also different. At least I remember it like that. But yeah. And now for some reason voice acting for a few seconds. I don't know if this guy is from the first game, since I never played it. From the first N64 game. Because I know there are some Mystical Ninja games that came before this. So this is how you beat this guy. Do it like that and then wait for the attack and then squish. And then avoid these pillars that are coming faster and faster. I don't really know the optimal fast threat. Beat him again. Okay, that first one should have hit him. And you cannot really do anything to speed a lot of these things up, at least not normally. There could be some speedrun strats that I don't know of. Okay, I just wanted to get that last hit in. And now a great voice line. I don't know. I always thought that was funny for some reason. I didn't understand a single word of it. I still don't really do. There are some Japanese words from my from my anime knowledge, from my long year anime watching, that I do know, but oh yeah, so this guy probably was in some of the previous games, since the resurrection machine is there. I totally forgot, because again, I rarely watch all of these cutscenes. So yeah, this is the second to last Impact fight. The thing with Kabuki 64, with the normal Kabuki 64 fight, is that the hardest part is figuring out how to beat him, but then again, at least to me, he doesn't feel as difficult as, again, the World 3 boss. Generally, World 4 feels like it should have been World 3, and World 3 should have been World 4. At least with how it feels. But talking about this fight, this guy has a lot of health, if you like to look at it. Oh, only 3,000. Why is it so low? I had some higher number in mind. Yeah, so that's probably just for the final impact. Since I always thought this guy was a little bit harder. So many of these boss tactics are just solved by wait a little bit and then do the super attack. Because again, aside from the special attacks, if you can just get in the range, yeah, so right now this was pretty much the example of how it should go if an enemy activates a super attack. Which is pretty much just wait and then, or look for your partner that tries to move away and hit him. So I didn't get the coins because I wanted to hit him away, since okay, so now we interrupted his attack, and right now going back because Impact has full health, and at least as far as I remember, if you switch, then they won't immediately use one of their special attacks. I mean, it's a little bit unfortunate that even with full health, one super attack pretty much just kills you. Okay, so this was pretty close. Yeah, no death against this guy because I'm a little bit more familiar with him. And I should have switched when he did his other super attack, but I got the timing with the punch combo wrong. And then every of the light attacks already did hit me, so... But now it's pretty much just the final world. The thing is, I don't know if that character is... if Suzaku is relevant to some of the other Mystical Ninja games that are timeline-wise behind this one. Since she just feels so random. I mean, you cannot really control her. She just shows up in cutscenes and otherwise there is nothing really to her. You cannot really interact with her. So, I mean, there are a few games that I think came after this one that I don't think the West ever got. I'm not really that knowledgeable about some of the other games of this franchise since I pretty much only had the ability to play this one, and the other Goemon N64 game was a 3D game that played, as far as I know, a lot differently, and this is pretty much a 2D platformer, so this is a lot different. I mean, the only real 3D environments are in the city. Yeah, I don't know if I should stop the stream right here. Or if I should just continue, because again, this there are only 3 more levels, this first one I'm going to play twice. Since there are 2 exits and then get to the city and then... Again, I think it's 30 entry passes or 32. I can't remember. Or I only remember that when I first... also to note, great music again. And like always, I first go the upper path. Yeah, these crows can be a little bit annoying. Especially since they throw lightning in your direction, but not directly, so you always have to kind of step away for a little bit. Unless you can hit them, which is definitely manageable with Goemon. Yeah, so I like this final world. It feels like it could have been a little more difficult for the final world, since yeah, I mean, but even in that regard, it's only that I feel like it could have been a little bit better, but it doesn't really have to be, since the second level already is pretty lengthy. And again, you can just skip a lot of that waiting around on these barrels with Goemon. I mean, this level has a pretty nice windmill aesthetic. And we're already done. See, this is again one of those levels that I think they expected you to take a little bit longer because you might use a different character. One really nice thing about this game also is that it has pretty much dynamic music, in that it's in that the music changes depending on or that it doesn't just change into night music, but it tries to get a nice loop. Oh, that just appeared there out of nowhere. Yeah, so this is an interesting choice for night music. Simply speaking of atmosphere, I'd say this is probably the least atmospheric for a nighttime. Also, if I did use Sasuke back on the upper path to blow those 2 rocks away, there are 2 golden cats. And I'm just saying golden cats because I can't remember what the general Japanese, or I don't even know if they are strictly Japanese, these guys. There's a lot of things. There is a lot going on. Again, losing the ability to speak the longer this goes on. I don't know, for some reason it's mainly just this stream. Maybe it's just that I'm talking so much this time. It's funny that I always think of the lower path being the other level because I normally take the upper path, and this kind of this always seems to me like the regular level, and the other one always seems to me like the extra level, although I like the other one more. But this is still pretty nice. Trying to wait for a good attack and then getting nothing. These guys are pretty annoying and more dangerous than some of the other enemies. Also to note, there are some extra lives and coins down here. This can be a pretty nice spot to grind if you need to. Since you can, if you did finish a level from this pause screen, you can just leave it and then go into it again, and then all of the coin pots respawn. I did press the hit button. The thing is, if you are in your attack animation, then it can be pretty tricky sometimes to get out of it. But yeah, now that I play this level again, I think gameplay wise I do like this level more than the other one. But I think the music of the other level just gets you pumped. Pumped in general, so I think this music although fits the level theme more. And again, needlessly collecting coins, although I don't really need them. You can technically go on top of all of these. And there is a lot more going on if you're playing this at night, since there generally are a lot more enemies. You know. This always feels a little bit weird when there are sections where you have to go left the entire time, since it almost feels like you God damn it. I was here. This was where I got the gold cat. See, now I got turned around. This is... Okay, this was the one problem I had with this level. It's that it can turn you around when you move on top of these things for the most part. But yeah, since I know that you have to get on this one and then... Okay, then you have to go right, okay. Yeah, now I remember. I thought it was weird. I remembered that you had to go left at one point here. Okay, so now we can go to the city, but I'm going to unlock the other entrance first. This level is a little bit cluttered at night. But because of that reason, it can be a good grinding spot. It's just not a good grinding spot at day. And there are some mean enemy placements, I wanted to say, as the spider pretty much drops on top of you immediately. Again, I am more accustomed to the upper path, mainly because I have double jump and reach these higher places easier. And there's also going to be another gold cat, so I don't really have to play careful that much. Because, yeah, and you can already see how many coins I'm getting, and this pumpkin goes pretty much at the end of every one of these sections. And I don't really know the... Why am I saying pumpkin ghosts? These are lanterns. Yeah, now for the great music for about a few seconds. Yeah, so right here you get a ton of money just from all of these little guys, and then there are also spiders that appear that give you 6 coins each. So this is a great grinding spot at night. Yeah, so now you've seen pretty much every regular level and every regular exit. No cutscene here, so I'm going to go to the gate and then we'll see how many entry passes we need. I have... I don't know why I have 30 in my head. Maybe it's 30, but for some reason I remember that you needed a good amount of them to get through here. Yeah, I don't know why. I think there are a few... Yeah, there were a few level exits that I did get. And each of them gives an entry pass, so... There are some missions that we can do here. One of them is bringing a delivery man his food in time, which is pretty much just find him and then run after him. Then we have a ghost merchant that you can buy an entry pass from for 500. And we pretty much only have to reach that guy. Then there is another Obismaru fight that is a lot easier since there aren't, or at least to me it always felt easier since there aren't that many instant death traps by falling compared to the previous race. I don't really understand what the victory conditions for that new race are. If it's because Obismaru is just blasting away and doing whatever until you reach certain checkpoints. So I don't know if it's just take the path that he's on right now, or if it's just always take the upper path. Since I always do whatever and then... so this is... the part-time office, which is also a post-game thing. At least there is one of them that is only post-game. I can't remember if the first of the missions is for regular games. So I'm running to the place where the ghost merchant is, since it's already approaching nighttime, and I'm trying to remember if there's any other mission here apart from the two post-game ones where you're doing a part-time job with Yai. I mean, I could visit Plasma again just for the fun of it. And see if I maybe forgot one. Or I could just count up all the ones I did do from that point onwards. Now I can talk with you. Okay, this scrolls pretty slowly. So you have to refuse the first offer and then accept the second one for 500. Oh, was this guy always there, or did he just appear because it's night? I didn't see him when I got here, so it's probably that he just appeared because now it's nighttime. There are so many people you can interact with and that have some interesting stuff to say. Yeah, so you probably noticed that this town is really large. Yeah, let's talk with a few people, why not? I did not talk with a lot of people before. The nice thing is that this is just, although this is one giant area, there are no real load times. Yeah, this is, I think, the house where you can accept part-time jobs. When you switch back to I could see if that works. Yeah, so no Iguana Man entry pass. This is so weird seeing him in that animation since there is no wall. And pretty much all of the other ones are. Well, is this? Okay, this transition music is now here for a long time. And so I think when it's daytime, is this also not possible right now? I always thought that getting there, or they're doing that one job. Yeah, so Plasma talks to you about the job, but I only think you can do the first one. Nah, I thought about, because there's another shop that gives you a level up for 80, but I couldn't get that level up anyway. Because for that I needed to have 240. Okay, so it just had to be a little bit later into the day. Okay, this mission can be over pretty fast or pretty slow depending on if you find this guy or if you don't. Oh, I had to hit him. I thought I had to talk with him, so I was pressing A the entire time, but... Yeah, this can go a lot worse. And I don't really know if there is a set path to this running pattern and that you always start at the same place and that you can just go there, or if it's random, because I always try a different approach. So yeah, now we have 30 lives, 30. I mean, we have 26 lives, rounded up, that is 30. But now we can go to the final castle and finish the game. And yeah, this game is not that long. I mean, even a more casual playthrough like this that could have gone a lot better. If I'm going to do this, probably going to take stream is going to take around 3 hours. Yeah, so Dream Castle. This is pretty much best of all other castles, only it's really hard. These jumps with other characters must be hell. I mean, also just look at how they place this guy and then platforms that disappear if you take too long. There is a certain stretch later on that is pretty notorious. Oh god, I forgot that it's better for this castle to buy. Buy some meals because the thing about this castle is it feels pretty, and that's the nice thing, is that it feels pretty different compared to the castles that it represents. So it's kind of fun in a way, and now you pretty much see the rest of the Edo Castle portion, which is pretty much almost the entire floor is going to fall down. And then something like this happens, which is pretty much the entire reason why this is so annoying. If you get a knockback from, for example, these flames, you pretty much just fall down. The one thing that Goemon doesn't have is kind of a downwards attack, while Sasuke with his bombs and Ebisumaru with his megaphone both have such an attack. Okay, now this is a really annoying part, since you pretty much have to do precision jumping. Then there are gaps and the enemy also, so you have to take this really carefully. And then it should be fine, but if you do this for the first time, then it can be a little bit intimidating. Oh, thank God. And they know that they probably should give you an extra life after all of this. Yeah, if you only have the standard number of levels, which is, I think, 2, this castle can be really difficult, so I recommend that you at least stock up. Yeah, so the first part of Ryugu Castle with Goemon isn't really difficult. I mean, a lot of this precision jumping also isn't really that difficult with other characters, so I don't know why the... Okay, with these things, I don't know why the timing is so weird with them. Okay, good. Yeah, you can rack up damage pretty fast in this, so, and this is technically a pretty difficult section coming up, but or at least I always had problems with it. But oh my god, I totally forgot this. Okay, I have to fix it pretty fast. Okay, I'm going to have to do this. Okay, now it's fixed. Always, why does this always... I almost forgot this. I'm going to change it back after we get done with this section. And there is a golden cat, I believe, down there. Okay, yeah, down there it is. But since we have Yae and her invincibility dash powers, we only have to do this for pretty much the entirety of the section, and it becomes trivial. I mean, you technically still can get hit. And I don't know if it's because of the mesh timing or just because of other reasons, but yeah, that wasn't really that difficult. So back to Goemon, and the next section from Margin Castle is, I think, for me, it's pretty much the easiest. I mean, it can still be annoying with something like, oh my god, input lag. Yeah, as I wanted to say, I... Okay, this is terrible. And this time it... Oh my god. And this time it shouldn't really be because I... Because I missed the timing. Again, I don't really think that this section is too hard, it's just that I have to fight with a little bit of input lag. Okay, this shouldn't have hit me. Hit one attack right there. Okay, so I'm going to fix the settings again. Yeah, with Goemon this section is a lot more tolerable. I did... Yeah, again, this castle can be pretty mean. Especially with the underworld section that's coming up. That is pretty much the home stretch of the castle. Yeah, you're also not supposed to jump over these things, but with Goemon you can. And that was the margin section. Okay, now this section is pretty much, I shouldn't be greedy or trying to get through this fast, but I'm probably going to. Case in point. The other thing that's a little bit... I mean, this is just mean. That they are pretty much... that it's hard to see with with the camera like that if the hand is open or not. Yeah, and then there are things like this, where the timing before isn't really tight, and then suddenly you have to jump over pretty much 4 of these things, while also having And this again is a section that is then much easier. Oh my god, why? Yeah, I tried to reach it, but I couldn't. Again, if you only had 2 lives or the standard life count, then this would be a lot harder. And I kind of need those upgrades for my weapon, because as you saw earlier, I did hit. I have to say the input lag. The input lag sometimes here can be pretty annoying. I mean, it's partly my fault because I could play better. Oh my god. I mean, this is terrible. I know I'm garbage at this section. But this is even worse than I imagined, because there are other times when I really have no problems, and the thing that always caused problems for me wasn't this section, but the next one that comes right after, so yeah, so I just had to wait on that previous arm, but again, the curse of wanting to get through this faster while making everything slower by dying around 6 times, since and this can be a really tricky section, since, as you see, we have the demon water again. But of course, the section that I find a lot more difficult, I pretty much ace. Why? I don't know. I'm going to take it. But yeah, that first section of Dream Castle Underworld could have gone a lot better. And I mean, it's always like that. So, eh. Yeah, but this is a pretty good pace. I don't really expect to have a lot of problems with the final boss. The final boss can be a problem, both the impact boss and the regular final boss, if you don't really know what you're doing. If you're doing them for the first time, and they have a few moves that are a little bit harder to dodge, but not impossible, so But yeah, now we get to the final impact fight before the final boss fight, which is a little bit weird because if the final impact fight really was the final part of this final boss, then it would have been a lot cooler. Since the final form of Dochuki is a little bit underwhelming. And I mean, just look at this guy. I mean, and he also has this intimidating boss music. And 6,666 HP for obvious reasons. And this guy likes to start with his this guy likes to start with his super attack, where you have to switch. So you definitely have to pay attention. And this is really a step up from the 3000 you had to deal with when you had Kabuki. Okay, so the yeah, so this is going well so far. And the normal patterns aren't really that big of a problem. The biggest problem is that he can summon older bosses. But the best option here is just to do what you always do and do your punch combo. Okay, this was a pretty nice combo. Yeah, I'm in this fight. I'm not going to risk using my laser attack because I might need it. Okay, that was pretty close, but you got it. Yeah, I'm mainly not risking it because this boss fight otherwise can take a lot of time. And I definitely want full health for this last stretch. Oh, this is a rare one. Oh, God damn it, this was so close. I almost could have defeated him with the laser attack, but okay, now he's pretty much done. Yeah, this went by pretty well, and since the third impact boss, since the Thunder God did annoy me a little bit. Because I wanted to finish it cool. Because I wanted to finish it with the big laser. Oh yeah, one thing I have to say is this is a pretty cool final boss music. Okay. The... Yeah, there are some graphical problems again. I'll probably going to have to switch again. Okay, no. This apparently doesn't look right. No matter how I display it, which is unfortunate because this area technically looks really cool. This watch is a gigantic joke. These things don't even hit you properly. The hard part comes now. And I don't know why the emulator has problems displaying the ground. I mean, maybe it's because of the rainbow effect. thing is, you can evade these patterns pretty easily. Again, just like with the first form. And the thing is, it doesn't really get any more difficult than this. I have to say, there's a little bit of added difficulty because I cannot see the stage and how far I can even go with this. Especially that breath attack. Yeah, and that's it. That's the game. Yeah, the glitched out ground or the glitched out graphics for the ground is definitely one of the reasons why why this was a little bit harder than usual, but it isn't really that hard. And now it looks pretty okay, although it still doesn't have the rainbow effect. I mean, there probably still is a way to do this, or to display the glitched stuff properly. I mean, that's I think the biggest shame, that if you're trying to emulate N64 games for better quality, if you just want some high textures for some of this stuff, and then there are graphics plugins that with some games just have problems, and I think that rainbow effect on the stage was probably too specific to be displayed properly. And also Ebismaru totally owns Gochuki. The power of gas. Yeah, I'm definitely going to show the secret village in Underworld before I'm going to end the stream, since I mean you did pretty much get to see every level and all of the towns, so it would be fair to show that off as well. And I have to say, having these outfits in the cutscenes is really nice. Yeah, so this did go a lot faster than I expected it to, since I wanted to have something to stream again And I thought, hey, I think for about 4 streams or so, this would be a pretty good game to fill in the gap. And now it's already done in 2 streams. And now, for some inexplicable reason, this game has voice-acted cutscenes. I love everything about this cutscene.
今度こそわてのデイン様を召喚できるでな。おや、なんじゃこの子は。どこの子じゃ？あ、それうちの子ですわ。マオって言いますね。なんだって？びっくりしたでござる。そっくりだわ。おねえ、マオちゃん追い出したらいけまへんがな。いや、そのスイッチは召喚。またかよ。もういや。このマシンをまたいただくざんす。ほい、あ、またマオちゃん追い出して。いやそのスイッチは自爆。
I don't know, just the delivery of... oh my god. Okay, that was probably... Oh my god, what's going on? Come on, please. Trying to fix this again. Yes. I cannot really fault the people that made these plugins for that it doesn't really work with this game since, or at least the standard settings, because I don't really know a lot of things about what the optimal settings are. And look at this, this is pretty much a spoiler since this is Tengu Village, the secret village in World 4, and they show you this and I thought, wow, that's cool. And then after I realized that this was at the place that I previously was and waited around a long time for, and then I realized that I didn't get it, which is right there. This is the place where you have to wait for the, pretty much where you have for the bus or the demon train, kind of a mix between the two. But you have to wait for that, and then it takes you to that village. And it's kind of unfortunate that you really cannot do that before, because that would have been such a cool place to discover. And NPCs already tell you about it, and I don't know if it's just that there are other requirements that you can meet to get there, but I only ever knew it by going into the forest like that. Yeah, it's a little bit sad to know that it doesn't really work that optimal with the emulator, since except for these few lines that inexplicably appear and that pixel chaos that I don't know why this appears in the credits, and whenever you are whenever you are in water tubes, or whenever you go to water areas, through specific water areas. But yeah, this, and it kind of always irks me if there are kind of post game, or if there are completion bonuses and there is a number of collectibles that you simply cannot get at the moment, but they already tell you that they are there, or that there are kind of these objects that you cannot really interact with, but you already see them, and it wouldn't really make a difference if they just waited until post game to make them available for you, because you can get pretty much almost every entry pass that you can get without having post game. But this then pretty much feels like they want to give you an incentive to really play more, or that they simply don't want to give you the feeling that you completed it, that you have to do more. And again, I maybe there is another way to get to Tango Village, but as far as I can remember, there is no way to get the part-time job, to get to the part-time job faster. So yeah, this screen is staying up until you reset the game. Let's take School Goemon. And you stay the same. Yeah, I mean, because they're yeah, but this shows if you technically can play it on a console, then it's a good idea to play it on console. Since I mean, the console shouldn't cause any problems, but there certainly are a few games that are more manageable if they are on emulator, like some grindy RPGs that you already completed and that you want to do a specific run for, like I'd say Pokemon Nuzlocke's run pretty much benefit the most from having benefit the most from having a speed up button, especially for the grinding, because one thing that I have to say about some of Pokemon is that the grinding in the earlier games sometimes can be a little bit tedious, and that is one of the reasons why I'm not really like a lot of other people that don't like the new experience share. I don't really have anything against the old experience share either, because there are situations in which your Pokemon can get overleveled with the new experience share on, but there are also some measures that you can take so that won't happen. I played Sun and Moon with a team that was a little bit bigger, and with a little bit bigger, I think it was more like 10 Pokemon instead of 6 that I had in my main team, so I always switched them out, and a few of those other Pokemons I breeded, since, I don't know, I wanted to breed some Eevees, and then I technically got an entire army of Eevees. Or I should better say an entire army of Evolutions, since I wanted to do it. So yeah, now it's pretty much just waiting for the bus to arrive, for the ghost train bus. I'm just going to call it that, to arrive and take Goemon to school. But yeah, regarding the Pokemon thing, I really benefited from it because I had a more flexible team, but also it wasn't really that much more difficult, since if a Pokemon had a lower level, I could just keep it in the team for longer, and if a Pokemon had too high of a level, I could just throw it out of there into the PC and then get it back later when I got more Pokemon again, or when the other Pokemon got similar levels. And I mean, I don't really dislike being at least a little bit high leveled, because that mitigates a little bit of the stupid stuff that sometimes can occur. But yeah, I was pretty evenly leveled, and I think also a little bit under-leveled for the Elite Four. I don't really remember, but I remember that it wasn't that bad. And again, if you want to level up a few specific Pokemon, then it definitely is a great option to consider. Because when you're trying to train, especially in a Nuzlocke, a Pokemon up that was around level 30 or that was around level 20 or something, and you want to fight the Elite Four, and you need that one last Pokemon that has to be really good. And it doesn't really work otherwise, so you kind of have to put this from level 20 to level 50. Then even with experience share, and you kind of have other Pokemon that you have to get 5 to 10 levels higher, then having that experience share on would have helped so much with just mid-game and having to switch out all of these Pokemon, and then fighting some of these Pokemon can be a hassle depending on the element of your Pokemon. So yeah, I definitely can see the benefits of the new experience share now. And the main thing is, if you don't want to use it, you can always turn it off. I mean, I get it for if you were try to play a 6-party team and only those 6-party Pokemon, then it can be a little bit annoying to handle, since you might have to switch your Pokemon out. Okay, so it isn't. So it is not train. I remember that wrong. Although, if you want to consider these wheels, since they are pretty slim, nah, it's more like the Ghost Bus. And this is also a pretty great theme. Yes, thank you, computer. I mean, you were already spoiled about this because of the ending, credits, but I'm going to show it to you anyway. And I'm going to get the waterfall entry pass, why not? Yeah, this should be the house that I talked about in the first part that should have one up. Okay, no, then I remembered that completely wrong. And maybe I missed one house that I didn't go into. But yeah, the tea house is all the way down here. And you only have to stand under this waterfall normally, but I like to do it like this. Yeah, so this is pretty much the piggyback position that you can take by pressing crouch and A at the same time, and then another person, a second player, can jump onto your back and with the other person jumping on your back, you can do some special attacks that are kind of like a powder version of some of the characters' special moves. So yeah, Plasma tells you to do the training under this waterfall, and I think this guy also. Yeah, for 20 seconds. And can I buy that? Yeah, those face statues that you can see. Yeah, this one is pretty much a teleporter to the other one. And this is pretty much the place where you can buy one of these for the quest in Kaiwa Road, where you have to go to the well and give this dish the spirit, and then you get another entry pass. Again, this is pretty cool, and I don't know why they locked this behind, at least from my knowledge. I could be wrong again. I tried to get this multiple times and I did stand exactly at the same spot. I still know that. To try and get this train to pick me up. Because you can see this village on the map screen, and I really don't know. Really don't know why they didn't show you this, or why they didn't let you go to this village before completing the game. And this is the end with the Tengu Innkeeper. So yeah, it would have been really nice to just get this earlier. I'm repeating myself for I think the 10th time already about this, but you could have just added a few extra objectives that are only available after you are able to complete them at all. So yeah, I mean, this was a Tengu village. This was now everything, at least regarding location, that this game has to offer. Again, there are some missions, and some like the part-time stuff can be pretty funny, but also a little bit trial and error. And it's literally just answering phone calls about some questions that children have. So yeah, this was pretty much Mystical Ninja 2 starring Goemon, or otherwise known as Goemon's Great Adventure. Earlier, a lot faster, and I mean, I could do these other missions, but I don't really feel like doing them. I don't know, it's just... They aren't really that annoying, except for the coin collecting one. 3,500 is ridiculous. 2,000 would have been more than enough. And even then, I think 1,500 would have also been okay. You can only carry 999 and stuff like that, and because some of the other missions, like the search for the Tengus or collect all the mushrooms, are pretty cool, and yeah, if you're going to play this game, then 100%ing it is not that big of a task. I mean, you pretty much did see that I got through this game in, I'd say, around 5 hours. I mean, probably less, since I stopped the previous stream at around, I think, since I stopped the previous stream a lot earlier than it needed to, since I did add around 20 minutes, I think, to it by talking about some stuff. But yeah, I don't really know what game I'm going to try next. I have one in mind that I did delay for a lot of time, and that a good amount of people probably won't be able to watch. Since it's the continuation of a game I already started but never finished, and I'm pretty much at the final part, and everything that happens is pretty much a spoiler there. But I want to get this done, and the only way I see how I get this done is that I have to stream it. So yeah, that would be the stream for next time, and I wouldn't really be mad if no one would really watch this other than my friends that want to see me finish that game. So that's it for today. I'll look into it if I can stream next week, since my schedule is, since I picked a great time to start streaming more often again. I'm probably just going to stream when I feel like it's convenient, it's nice, when I'm don't really that stressed out. I mean, there isn't any pressure. I don't have a big audience that really wants to see new videos or that wants to interact with me on stream, so again, I don't really feel like I have to push myself, or I don't really know if I have to create a schedule if there's no one watching right now. I'm probably finally going to release a schedule if I know that there are people watching, because otherwise I just cannot say, and I don't think I have the motivation to do so. I hope that's understandable. And yeah, I mean, these videos still go up on YouTube, so have fun with that. Again, follow me on Twitch if you if you like. I'd really appreciate it. At least when I don't get the viewers, at least hope to get the followers. I mean, I did a good amount of streams, but I'm still pretty new to this entire presenting stuff, and also not native in English. I hope I hope you don't mind. I surround myself with so much English media that in my mind it's not really that hard to get into that mindset, but some speech patterns might not be optimal and it might sound a little bit weird because of the accent, but otherwise also follow me on Twitter. I don't really post a lot of stuff except maybe expressions of or my opinions about certain games that I've played. I don't really have the editing quality to post out memes or stuff like that, or a lot of edited images. I'm more like a text person. I wrote some reviews and stuff like that more professionally. I mean, semi-professionally. I wasn't really like an employee, but I wrote some reviews for Crunchyroll, so, and otherwise I was writing articles and stuff like that, and doing a podcast and a lot of stuff. But yeah, trying to get things started on your own is hard, especially when when your friends don't really watch you and you don't want to always bug your friends with, hey, watch my content. Because I know I don't really have the most exciting setups and games to play. But I mean, I like these games. I still really like this game. For something in between, or something a little bit to get your mind off of things, this is a great distraction. I'm probably better at it than I thought most of the time, and then really terrible during some other sections, like that Underworld section during the Dream Castle. But then again, it is the final level, so of course it has to be hard. But yeah, for the 5th time now, that's it. Again, follow me on Twitch, follow me on Twitter. Feedback is appreciated since I don't really get any. So I don't really know what I should do differently. I mean, except for the games I'm going to play. But yeah, I hope you have a good night, good day, or whatever, and yeah, I'm just realizing I don't really have a good closing phrase, with which you exactly know that now I'll stop streaming. Since I have an opener with hello everyone, it's not really creative, and I don't really have that big of a culture, but then again, this is stuff I'm going to figure out. But thank you for watching, and thank you for watching on YouTube, and simply bye.